Welcome back to the COS Business Podcast, #1 podcast in Colorado Springs.
Today, our highlighted sponsor of the week is Exponential Impact. They're doing an event on August 1st and 2nd, a 2-day event. They're opening up, this is the building where we film at Exponential Impact. They're opening up a second location at Widener Field. It's called Widener Field?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's going to be pretty cool. They do a lot of awesome stuff. They're going to be featuring multiple panels, a pitch fest, coffee and networking sessions. And going to be talking about they do some really cool stuff for the entrepreneur space in Colorado Springs.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, today we have a very special guest, Tito with Pikes Indian Motorcycle. How you doing, brother?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first and foremost, we see that giant headdress. We were just talking about this before we started recording. On the side of I-25 heading southbound, on the west side of I-25.
Yeah.
If anybody's been living under a rock, like what is Indian Motorcycles?
Oh, Indian Motorcycle. It is the first American-made motorcycle to ever come out. 1901 they started, just before Harley Davidson. They've been running strong ever since.
It's awesome, man. And so you opened this up, I would say, almost 5 years ago, right?
Almost 5 years, coming up on our 5th anniversary. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And it's kind of a family affair, right? You have a bunch of family members. I think we were in touch with Rochelle, your sister, right? Prior to this episode.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that, man. What got you guys into that, and like your whole family story? Because I know there's some interesting gems about your guys' history and business and things of that nature.
Yeah. So, I mean, my parents and I decided we wanted to open up a dealership. Originally, we had actually thought about Harley Davidson. And after I had worked for Indian Motorcycle for a few years, we realized that Indian was the better way to go for us. Just better bikes, honestly. And we just saw the brand going in the right direction that we wanted to go towards. So we decided to go for it. And, like I said, family affair, man. We decided get the family involved and have everyone doing it. So parents own the place. I run it. My sister does our marketing, and my cousin does our finance, and my wife does our bookkeeping. So, I mean, we got to kind of spread the love around the whole place, and it's been working great.
That's awesome, man. I don't know what it is about a lot of our guests, but usually the wife does like the bookkeeping or the admin for whatever reason. They're really good at that.
My wife's a doctor, so I mean, she's got that down.
That's awesome. Cool, man. Yeah. So the whole family's been doing a lot, and like even before that, did you said your family was into different types of other business ventures too, right? If we took it back a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, my dad was in the mining industry for years, so that's kind of where he made his money to start. That kind of led to this whole thing. He did that, and then he wanted me to. We both decided to get into motorcycles. I decided to go a little further and I went to school for it, be a motorcycle technician. After that, wanted to get some experience in the industry, and eventually led to having a dealership.
My garage right now, my roommate is a motorcycle technician. So he's got like two motorcycles in my garage right now, like taken apart. They're just sitting there, but yeah, it's cool.
There's always a project bikes. We got one of those right now, man. We're doing in the middle of a custom build. I literally have it tore down to the frame, and actually got the frame torn apart too. We're gonna do a lot of custom work.
That's gotta be fun. Yeah.
We try to do once a year.
Okay.
Something crazy, something different. Indian Motorcycle still freshly back on the scene. So a lot of people don't realize the custom work that you can actually do with it.
Okay.
So we like to do something crazy at least once a year to kind of show people what you can do.
Yeah, for sure, man. And it's crazy because I think you said you started this like right at the tail end of 2019. As we all know, COVID hit in 2020. So talk to us a little bit about your first year in business, and even since then, like the COVID effect on, your industry.
So that was crazy. We opened up that September 2019, and everything seemed to be going well, and rolling into 2020, this COVID thing hits. And it was rough. Just like it was for every business. There was all of a sudden a lack of inventory. We thought we were going to get full inventory, and that really has lasted up until this year. This is the first year since we opened that we've actually had full inventory in our dealership. We got other problems to deal with now of how to fit all these bikes in our shop. You know what I mean? Great problem to have. Our numbers have never been higher this year. We're actually, the past 2 months, we've been #1 in the nation for bike sales. We're currently sitting at #2 in the country. So we're right on top where, before we were up there a little bit, but everyone's a little shocked to see how well we can do once you give us
Yeah.
bikes.
We're going to take a quick break and thank our sponsors.
Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care. Skip the healthcare hassle with Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care. Direct primary care for a simple monthly fee, putting health first. No insurance needed. Experience personalized care that's as unique as every individual. Visit pinnacleapc.com to learn more. That's pinnacleapc.com. Franchise succeed.
Grow any business with Franchise Succeed. From development to expansion, turning small businesses into national brands through franchising. Start scaling up with a free consultation at franchisesucceed.com today. That's franchisesucceed.com.
Planet Duct. Breathe easier with Planet Duct, Colorado Springs' premier air duct cleaning service. Powerful vacuum trucks rid homes of allergens and dust. Clear the air by visiting planetduct.com. That's planetduct.com.
Epic Eyewear. Elevate style with Epic Eyewear. Innovative designs meet unmatched quality, ensuring a great look and better vision. Discover your next pair of shades at epiceyewear.com. That's epiceyewear.com, spelled EPOCH eyewear.com.
And we're running a special discount right now, Andrew. It's COS BP15 for 15% off your
15% off your freaking order at epiceyewear.com. We're wearing the sunglasses right now. If you're watching, listening on the audio, definitely check out the video so you can see and check out how epic they are. EPOCH.
Eyewear.com.
Eyewear.com.
Now we will get back to this episode.
It's a real good location too. Like it's free advertisement for like the whole city.
Tell you what, if you can't see us off the highway, there's something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't be on the highway probably driving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, it's we couldn't have found a better spot. It was something that kind of just kept looking at us. You know, we were looking around the city to find the right location, and every time we passed by it, you know, you see this big billboard of, you know, for sale, and we're looking around everywhere else like that's the place.
Yeah.
Like we keep seeing it over everything else everywhere we're going. Why not, right? And it worked out well.
That's awesome, man. I have so I'm into marketing, and I have a client that does power sports and motorsports, and they're off the interstate too, but it's in northern Colorado, in Loveland, Colorado, Tri-City Cycle.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, they were talking about, I mean, I think their journey's been a little bit different because they've been around for 30 years. And they were like a premier Yamaha dealer, but they do everything like the boats, wave runners,
bunch of motorcycles.
Motorcycles, obviously, the Yamaha, you know, what's it called? Dirt bikes, right? They have all that, but they had like a huge, I mean, it's probably because their inventory was already there before COVID and they have been around for a long time.
Oh yeah.
But like their huge surge was like 21 and 22 were just like, and I think that was a lot of different folks in your industry where it was like that after effect of COVID where everybody got the checks or whatever it might be. And they had a lot of disposable income from just sitting around. So like 2020 and 2021, 2022 maybe was like their big years. But I think you guys are in an interesting position because you're like now starting to take off, right?
Well, so those years, it was a double-edged sword, you know. On the one side, the demand was high. And I mean, I could pre-sell a crazy amount of bikes. It was just when were they going to come in?
Right.
I'll never forget, I sold about 30 plus bikes at the start of the year, in the first quarter of the year. They didn't show up until the end of the third quarter.
Oh my gosh.
So when you have things like that happen, you know, you got orders that drop off, you got people tired of waiting, but it's a supply and demand game. And whenever there's a low supply, the demand goes through the roof. It means we can hold our margins better, but it also means I can't sell as many bikes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you get into like an Indian dealership? Explain to our audience how that's even possible, because a lot of folks probably don't even know like how to do that.
So it's you got to have experience. You know, I had enough experience in the field that they felt comfortable with putting us on as a dealership, but it wasn't just me. We also had to have the backing for it, the money for it.
Right.
My dad. So my dad, he had the business knowledge and he had the financial end of it. And I had the experience with Indian Motorcycle. So really it took the team of us together to be able to make this happen. Indian, earlier years, they weren't quite as strict with it because they were just trying to get the brand going. They wanted people selling their product. So they just kind of gave it out where it could. By the time we got involved, they had stricken it up, which we were glad to see, because there were too many people out there that weren't, to me, doing it right. You know what I mean? Not to say negative about everybody, but you go to enough dealerships and you see what you don't like and you put that into perspective of what you want to see out of a dealership. that's kind of where we went with it. We did everything we thought should be done right in a dealership and made it happen.
Talk a little bit more about that. What do you mean, like the things that you didn't like versus the things that you implemented in this dealership that
You know,
you knew right out of the gate
there
to do?
there's a lot of people that just don't they just don't care about the product. You know, you got a lot of multi-line dealers where Indian is just another one of their 6 products.
Mm,
You know
Mm.
what I mean? And
yeah.
for us, we wanted to be honestly a little more like Harley Davidson. You go into a Harley dealer and you are there to talk about Harleys. The people that are selling you something are know about the product. That's what we wanted. We are professionals at Indian Motorcycle, and not just the bikes, the performance aspect, any kind of aftermarket accessories, like you name it, we know about it. I will fully customize your bike top to bottom with things you didn't even know existed. And that's what we want. We want to give that full experience to a customer that we believe they deserve at an Indian motorcycle dealership.
How does the education work with that when you have, like you said, those who come in and they've heard about maybe Indian like me, but never necessarily ridden an Indian motorcycle
Mhm.
versus the person who's like a diehard
Yeah.
fan comes in there and like how do you have that knowledge base? Is there like a yearly or monthly type of like education thing that Indian offers to a lot of their owners, or how does that work?
So they have, I mean, they have their programs to kind of give you a general knowledge. We make sure, I mean, I have the knowledge, and a lot of our guys that have been there a while have the knowledge to where we make sure anybody that we have on the floor selling bikes is trained and has the knowledge and the history to be able to fully educate customers on where the brand's been, where the brand's going, and where we are at today. Because you're right, a lot of people don't know a lot about Indian. So you come in, we're not only going to be asking you questions to try to help you find the right bike, but we're going to also give you all the details you need to fully understand the brand.
That's awesome. What kind of strategic partnerships do you guys, if you have any so far? I mean, you're still fairly young business, but I know like a lot of my clients in the power sports or motorsports industries will do like a cars and coffee. They'll partner up with like an organizer, do something like locally in the parking lot of their space, or like even partner up with like a motorcycle. What's it called? Like a class where you get the license and you learn how to like ride a bike and get
Mhm.
your license for it and things like that. Have you guys done any of that in the community just yet?
Um, I say, I guess the Chapel Hills Mall has their motorcycle course. We do a lot with them. We don't have the room yet to be able to do the course at our facility,
Yeah.
but we do offer promo discounts if you go to them to get the course done and you buy a new bike from us, we'll refund you up to $200 of that class.
Oh,
So
cool.
helps new riders out. You know, that class whenever we first started was about $200. So we were essentially paying for the whole class. 5 years later, it's about $350.
Wow.
So it's gone up. Obviously with the times, it's expected. So we still want to cover at least that $200, make it a lot less of a blow than what it would be other than that.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. How is it being in business with your family? Because like we're partners, we go through the normal things of being partners with one another, and you know
Yeah.
what that takes as far
Mhm.
as like conflict and whatever. But like with family, I mean, family runs deep,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So how has that process been for you guys?
Oh, I love my family. Right?
Yeah.
Ups and downs, man. There always is. We do. We love each other. We support each other. We pray a lot together. All
Yeah.
right, make sure that everything stays on track. But you know, there's always the highs, there's always the lows. But it, we've stuck it out this long because we work well together. Um, we all have our different ideas of what needs to be done, and it's honestly helped the business grow. I sometimes get um, one mind track a little
Mhm.
bit too much, and that's why I got my sister who thinks outside the box. My dad, my mom think outside the box. They all think different ways than I do. So, with everybody's ideas, I think it helps us stay creative and stay outside the box where we need to be to help the business grow the way we want it to be.
That's pretty cool. And
Uh,
for you to be chosen as like the GM to pretty much run the joint is probably a really cool undertaking from your whole family to
Oh, definitely.
rely on you to
Oh,
be
yeah.
the guy, right? That's got to be a really cool
It is, man.
aspect.
It is, and you know, it's awesome because I worked in the industry. I worked at 2 Harley dealers. I worked at 2 Indian dealers.
Yeah.
I've seen the good, I've seen the bad, and the whole time I worked at those dealerships, part of it was knowing this day was going to come, and kind of learning that aspect of what I thought was great, what I thought could have been done better, and being able to apply it at my age. I'm still young. Shit, whenever I started, I was 29. There's not very many GMs that start at 29. You know
Right.
what I mean? So to be able to grow with the business and grow as a GM has been, it's been a phenomenal to do.
What about growing as a leader?
That too.
Yeah, you guys have employees and stuff like that, I'm
Oh yeah.
assuming? How's
Oh,
that
definitely.
whole aspect been?
I
Because I
tell
know
you
that's a
what,
journey in
yeah,
itself too.
I started on the service end of it, so I was just used to that end, and just having to manage that part of it. To have to do the whole thing and look at the big picture, it's definitely an eye opener. You got a lot more you have to look at. It multiple pieces to try to keep in line. Pretty sure I got a few extra grades from it, but it's been a great learning experience.
That's awesome. Well, and this might be a question for your sister, but what kind of like, what kind of marketing are you guys doing to kind of get your name out there and kind of like set yourself apart from other dealers in and around Colorado Springs?
So we started with a company that was doing a lot of our marketing for us. My sister was doing more of our social media, keeping up with that and doing a great job at it. She's phenomenal at doing all that stuff. She just got a natural presence about doing all that, live streams and everything. So
Right.
love having her on board. But having this other company do the other side of our social media or of our marketing, she learned from that and was able to pick up on what they were doing to be able to do it ourselves. So it's been awesome in the past couple of years that she had learned that and been able to apply it, help save us a little bit of money and have her doing that for us. So that we still work with a few local places to help with some of the marketing, but
Mhm.
the bulk of it is her.
Did they do like the SEO or stuff like that? Or?
SEOs, yeah,
Okay.
the SE was it SEMs and
SEM.
yeah, SEM and SEOs. Yeah, we still pay for that and a few other things
Mhm.
as well. There's so much to it,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
There's so many different aspects of it that I got
And it's
we gotta keep
important
track
too,
of.
because if you don't do that stuff, you're not gonna. When people search for you guys, they're not gonna find you. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And we're working on our YouTube this year.
Oh, sweet, nice.
So we did actually our first video to start the year. We built a bike for Toby Keith last year.
What?
Yeah, November
R.I.P.
last year. What's that?
R.I.P.
RIP. Yes.
Yeah.
Our video actually came out like just a couple days before he passed.
Oh shit.
So we were all excited. Yeah, video out, Toby Keith.
Yeah.
Let's go. All excited because we had a videographer come out and kind of film us as we were
Mhm.
doing the build. It was a quick build, probably one of the quicker builds we've done. We only had a week to do it.
Mhm.
We had JW's, he owns the Boot Barn Hall,
Oh yeah.
approached us and said, "Hey, you want to build a bike for Toby Keith?"
Hell yeah.
Like, who? Like, are you
Did
serious?
say
Like,
that?
you're joking with
I
me.
remember
Like,
him posting about
Uh,
that bike. That's
Oh, that's
crazy.
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was fun. It was
Yeah.
a fun build, quick build. Me and my dad drove out to Oklahoma to go deliver it to him, and it was, I mean, to see his place was crazy. To meet him, I mean, such a laid back and just cool guy.
You guys did a whole video recording the process of it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's
had,
cool.
we got a yep, and that was our first like big video on YouTube that we did. We've been trying to keep up with
Did it
ever
take off?
since. It took off pretty
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to keep up with more of it though. I mean,
Yeah.
as you guys probably know, it's hard to
Yeah.
keep content going
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So we're trying to prep a few this year for next year. You'll see
Yeah.
go up. I think will be pretty nice too.
So Edgar right here and I are both videographers. Edgar specifically does a lot of car stuff. He doesn't. I don't know if he's really big on the motorcycles, but it's probably a similar concept. But yeah, you should definitely look at his stuff. And like, since you
I'll
guys are
check it
wanting to do
out.
some more stuff, yeah,
Definitely.
like yeah, he's definitely
He's
worth
the
it.
guy.
Yeah,
Best in Colorado, probably.
Yeah,
He is. He is the best in Colorado.
All
Probably.
right.
Yeah, that's a good point. And even with JW, you probably, I mean, especially with the amphitheater being built, who knows what kind of clientele he might be sending your guys' way if they like Indian.
Oh,
Like that would
definitely.
be freaking cool.
We sold a bike to JW our first year.
Oh,
And that's kind of what sparked it. Sorry.
Yeah.
This year or last year with doing that build, he wanted to do something different for Toby, and he loves his bike. You know what I mean? So, and they actually don't make his bike anymore. So that was part of the big thing that we had to do to Toby Keith is he wanted a bike like his for Toby Keith. I'm like, okay, well, I can make it happen, but you're asking a lot in a short amount of time. So we were able to get it done. We actually had to have a few custom pieces made very quickly. Luckily, we have a few friends in the industry that can do that kind of custom leather work in a timely manner. So it was pretty cool to get done.
That is awesome, man. How
Mhm.
cool is that? That's like one of
Yeah.
those really cool
That is really
stories
cool.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I didn't even know you guys did that. So that's cool.
Right?
Yeah, you got to video. You got to document that stuff. That's just cool.
Definitely.
You
Whenever,
kidding me?
I mean, the name as big as Toby Keith, you can't not, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Well, we're hoping to have JW on the show very soon, so maybe we'll get you some more
Oh, yeah.
clientele. They go back and
Definitely.
forth.
Yeah.
You know.
Tell him I said hi.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with all the folks and coming to the Springs, all the newer talent coming to Colorado Springs, that new amphitheater. It's only going to get better.
Oh yeah, that amphitheater, man. We gotta have a little private tour of it.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Just a few months ago, and that thing is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like from the outside, it doesn't look that crazy, but whenever you walk down into it, you're like, holy smokes, this is
a lot more massive than it looks
Oh.
like from the highway.
no, seriously. When
Yeah.
you're in it, you're in it. Like
Yeah.
you like, and the view that they have of Pikes Peak and everything in the background is just, it's a phenomenal setting that they got.
Mhm.
Gosh.
Like,
Yeah, I used to live up in that area, so I grew up like dirt biking on that land and just being like, this is heaven on earth. Like the mountains right in your face, and seeing the Air Force shows there, and
yeah.
it's insane that there's an amphitheater in that. It's gonna be one of the top venues
Oh,
for that
definitely. Yeah.
backdrop alone. You know, did you guys end up getting a suite or anything like that? Because those suites are nice too.
No, we didn't get one of the first ones. We are still working on that. So
Yeah, cool.
they actually, it sold so well for the first ones that they added on like an extra like 40 suites that they still have some for sale, I believe.
What do you guys
So-
mean? It's sweet.
So there, it's like a fireplace. It's not like your regular seats.
Oh, okay.
Like there's a fireplace and you have X amount of seats there
Okay.
with it, and you have your own kind of bar and stuff there. Like, oh, like
So it's like in the stadiums, like being behind the window thing.
Yeah, but it's like a box. So like if
Yeah,
you
there
have
you
like
go.
if you have like a box, even like because a horse race and they have boxes that are actually outside. They're not even enclosed, but they're kind of just like fenced off a little bit.
mhm.
And then it's got a fire pit in the middle. You can kind of sit around. So everybody there can just sit down and watch the show, have a fire pit, and just have the show,
Nice.
which is
Okay.
cool. They don't even
Yeah.
have to stand up over anybody or anything like that.
right,
It's just,
right.
like
You got
right
your own
there.
space, and it's yeah.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard they're like going for a pretty like multiple
Oh, they're-
six figures for those suckers.
They're pricey. That's
Yeah.
why we didn't get in on to begin with, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Shoot, if it was this year, maybe, man. But you know, to
Yeah.
get those original ones, it wasn't.
Oh, so you actually own or you
Yeah.
lease it or whatever? Like,
Yeah, you own that,
Oh,
that seat. Yeah.
I thought it was just for like one event. So I was like,
No.
okay, no.
No, these guys. There's a lot of places that they buy them and then they rent it out, like per
Okay.
seat kind of thing. But
I didn't even know that stadiums or arenas did things like that.
We'd like to take a quick moment and thank our sponsors.
Home Day.
Are you an employer looking to boost employee retention and recruitment? Home Day offers a unique benefit program that helps your employees buy their dream home while saving an average of $4,000 on closing costs.
Neon Pig Creative. Bring brands to life with Neon Pig Creative. Dazzling designs and strategic marketing make businesses stand out. Spark creativity at neonpigcreative.com. That's neonpigcreative.com. Exponential impact.
Fuel startup success with exponential impact, mentorship, resources, and support available to amplify impact. Join a community of change makers at exponentialimpact.com.
That's exponentialimpact.com.
Fast Signs.
Fast Signs can help you with all your signage and visual marketing needs. Whether you're starting a new business or just need a signage refresh, let Fast Signs help you. Make your statement. That's fastsigns.com. Cars Helping Charities.
Cars Helping Charities is a turnkey fundraising solution for nonprofits. Cars Helping Charities allows your nonprofit to accept vehicle donations, which are sold, and then the funds go to the organization. CHC is partnering with my nonprofit of choice, Mattersville, to help them raise funds through vehicle donations. Please consider donating your car to support Mattersville. CHC will pick up any car, an old clunker you have sitting in your driveway, or a car you just don't feel like selling anymore. Make sure to visit carshelpingcharities.org. That's carshelpingcharities.org.
Now let's get back to the show.
to see how much Colorado Springs has expanded since we moved here,
Yeah.
and to see how much it's still growing, you see new construction going on every day.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's I don't see it stopping anytime
It's
soon. and
ramping up.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Yeah.
business is only going to get better.
When did you guys move out here?
So beginning of 2019 is whenever we moved out here.
Okay, same with me actually. The
Yeah.
middle of it actually, the middle of 2019.
Nice.
Yeah. So, you guys, when did you guys open the Indian in 2019? Is that right?
Fall.
Oh,
fall
the fall? Yeah,
2019.
yeah, sweet.
Yeah, September.
Okay.
So it was
Wow.
I got it at the beginning, and it was quick turnaround. We didn't start construction until I think May or June.
Okay.
So yeah, we had to gut the building quick and
Oh yeah.
get
Mhm.
ideas together.
For me, it was I've just always thought you guys were there because you guys have been there since I've been here. So I didn't know how long you guys were there for. So that's
Literally the moment you
yeah.
came in.
Yeah. Nice.
Good timing.
Yeah, it's good. It was a good time, kind of, COVID and everything, but yeah.
What was it again originally? It was a
Zio's Italian restaurant.
that's what I thought.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember
Nice.
I even went there when it was a Zio's Italian restaurant, but
Well, I got to see it closed down as a restaurant.
Oh,
oh
nice.
yeah,
And it was hard to imagine it being a dealership.
yeah.
okay.
Whenever you see bars and a full kitchen and
Oh yeah.
offices and stuff, you're like, how am I going to turn this into a dealership? Once they gutted everything, that's whenever you could see it. And I'm like, okay, we got the space, we can work with this.
Mhm.
It's going to be fun. You know,
That's got to be intimidating. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
You could.
I was just kidding. That's got to be super intimidating too. Just like, how do you work with like a gutted, shell of an old restaurant and then turn it into a dealership? Yeah, dealerships are pretty open for the most part, right?
Yeah.
With the showroom floor, but
well, we definitely had to open it up. Immediately, I had some ideas to open it up because there was just, the setting was good for a restaurant, but a restaurant doesn't need outside lighting. You know what I mean? Where a dealership, you want that sunlight in, you want everything being exposed and seen a lot better. So we definitely had to add some extra light to it, and it worked out well.
that's cool.
Nice. Yeah. What I was gonna ask was, did you guys have anything to do with the museum, the motorcycle museum up above the eatery, the Tejon Eatery? There's
No, that's Jim. Jim Ware has that.
Okay.
Does that museum. That's a cool museum.
yeah. You guys didn't? Do you guys do any kind of collaboration with them or?
We have in the past.
Okay.
He does pro promotions.
Okay.
So they do a lot of advertisements. We're the veterans rally he puts on as well, that we're a part of every year. As well. We're at a lot of events.
okay.
Pikes Beginning pops up everywhere, man. We're at Denver Expo, beginning of the year, Colorado Springs Super Show we're in. Typically we were at Red River in New Mexico. Obviously they didn't quite have that going on this year due to the shooting last year, which we were at that event whenever
Really?
that happened. Yeah. That was an interesting one.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah,
actually.
tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Red River Rally. There was a shooting last year during a Memorial Day weekend. It was, summer kickoff kind of rally. It's a really cool thing, man. There's usually like 30,000 people that go. So it was, I think, one of the first year they brought the band, let the clubs come back in, and didn't quite work out. There was a scuffle, I guess, based on something that had happened before the rally even started, led to a shooting. It was kind of funny though, man, because we had our dyno set up. All right, that thing's loud. We were running a bike on a dyno. We didn't even know what happened because we were a little bit on the outside, just down the street from them, but it was going so loud that we couldn't hear it. All of a sudden, I see club guys just running, walking away, like conspicuous and everything.
Yeah.
Wondering what the heck's going on. Next thing you know, cops show up and everything. It was crazy. They shut the rally down early and then said they weren't going to do it again, and then tried to bring it back like last minute this year. So we'll see what happens next year. But it's a fun event whenever that's not going on.
Mhm.
Brings a lot of people out and gets a lot of different eyes on Indian motorcycle.
Similar to what's Sturgis all about? I'm not really. I've heard
That-
about it for a long time. I don't really
Sturgis
know.
is
Yeah.
a lot of fun. That is the biggest bike rally in the world.
Yeah.
Massive. I've been to Daytona bike rally, which is the second largest. Nowhere near as big as Sturgis.
Okay.
And that's the second biggest. We went there thinking it was going to be like Sturgis. It was like, I'd say a fraction of the bikers that actually go to Sturgis.
Okay.
But Sturgis, you're looking at, on a bad year, typically 400,000 to 500,000.
Oh wow.
Go to Sturgis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the draw for it?
It's a bike rally, man. I don't
Okay,
know what else
yeah.
to say about it.
Bike rally, they just love to go.
It's
Yeah.
one of those things you got to experience to
Okay.
understand why. If you know, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Go up, if you get a chance to go up there one year, you'll understand
Okay.
why
yeah,
people do it.
Yeah.
Typically it's on everybody's bucket list to do at least once.
Mhm.
I've been blessed enough that I've been going since I was 19.
Okay. Nice.
Had bikes. Shoot, I was living in Las Vegas, Nevada for a while, Tucson, Arizona, and I would ride from there. You're
Okay.
talking anywhere from 12 to 1,500 miles.
Oh my gosh.
And we'd plan a trip every year,
Yeah.
going up there and have a good time. It's a fun part.
So
time.
it's a good excuse for a lot of bikers to take their bike on the road.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit before when Andrew was still setting everything up for us, but The what were you saying? Oh, the town like itself. It's kind of like Woodstock. You remember how Woodstock had like an infrastructure for like 5,000 people, and then like 500,000 showed up.
Hmm.
It's kind of like that with
Oh,
Sturgis, right?
exactly, man. There's the town. I believe it is like 4 or 5 thousand is the city limits of the population, and whenever you have 4 to 500,000 come in
Yeah.
every year, like that's it's insane. On a bad year, you know what I mean? I was there for the 75th anniversary. There was over 1 million people. Like it was nuts.
Yeah.
Like you go at that point, you go there to party to have fun. You,
Hmm.
you can't really go do a whole lot of riding,
Yeah.
but it's still a good time.
Yeah, and your family all goes with you from the dealership. You said you guys have like a big setup where you bring the
Yeah.
RV with you, and
Oh,
like you guys just have a great time with the like the is it like a toy hauler you have with you too, or something like that? You said or a trailer at least that you
yeah,
have
yeah.
with
We
you.
got parents got a 35-foot RV. They got a stacker almost the same length. That's I call it a stacker. It's got a hydraulic lift in the middle of it, so you can stack. You can put bikes on top, and then still put everything else underneath, and pretty much pack everything.
Hmm.
It's funny to watch. Whenever we were pulling everything out, to see the crowd that comes around because you're just wondering if you're gonna stop. There's still more stuff coming out of that trailer. You know what I mean? It's fun.
Dang, that's cool. You guys do it the right way then. And it
All right.
sounds like you're really close with your family. Obviously, owning a business with them
Yeah.
and like, I mean, business alone is very hard to do, but with your family, you got to be pretty close knit group. Have you guys always been that way too? Like your
Yeah.
whole life?
That's the way we were raised. I mean, traveling around a lot. I mean, we were all about family. That's who we had. You know what I mean? Friends. I mean, I can find friends anywhere I go, but familia. I mean, that's what it's all about. So, I mean, not just our close family, cousins, everything. We've always been close with. My parents have made sure we've always been close with, and that we know both sides of the family very well. You know what I mean?
As far as like business is concerned, like, how do you guys do business together? Is there like a quarterly meeting or is it like everybody in the family is actively in the business? I know you said your siblings and your wife are, but like your parents, like, do they check in?
Oh, they're active. My dad's there every day. Um, my mom, uh, not quite every day, but she still has the input every day, like we do. We don't make big decisions without consulting each other. You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna go out and spend 5 grand on something because I think it should be. You know what I mean? We're gonna sit down, discuss it, make sure that everyone's on board for what we want to do. And sometimes we do got to scale back, and sometimes we got to go bigger. You know what I mean? But that's the that's the fun part of having everybody involved with it is you get everyone's opinion so you can see what could go right with this and what could go wrong with it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Is there like bigger, because with a relationship like that, you always have like someone in the family who's like a little bit more of a dreamer or someone who's more so inclined to want to spend money to do something that might be a really good opportunity versus someone who's like maybe a little bit more conservative, be like, okay, like we got to check these boxes before we do any of that stuff.
Mhm.
Is there like, how's that checks and balance work with you guys?
You know, it varies on what we're doing. Um, Everyone has different things they get excited about. You know what I mean? I like to do a lot of custom work. I get very excited about that. So you get me involved with a custom project. It doesn't even have to be on a bike. It could be on designing our next T-shirt, designing our next hat. Um, I get very excited about those kinds of things. Where my dad's not going to get as excited about that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? The custom bike stuff, yeah, he gets pretty excited about. But there's other things that they get excited about, and it's a matter of seeing what everyone's opinions are on these ideas, and let's go from there and make it work together.
Do you
So
think that you're more so like a creative, or do you like where do you see your skill sets? It sounds like you
yeah, I'd say the creative side. I That's just the fun I've always had. Being in service, coming from the service side of things,
mhm.
that was kind of what I really like to do with customers is let's build it together. I want to help you build your dream bike, and I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna suggest some ideas that you probably never thought could be done on your bike, and let's make it happen. That's the fun for me. I still get involved on the service end when it comes to that kind of stuff as often as I can. Being GM, I'm stuck in my office half the time, but the few times I can get out and actually do that stuff, that's what lights me up.
Yeah, and you described your life. I mean, you work a lot. Obviously, anybody who works at a dealership who's a GM of a dealership is going to be working a ton.
But
And you also have a family, and you have kiddos too, right? So
yeah.
how are you intentional with your time and balancing all those different things of your life?
It's tough, man. Yeah, definitely not easy. I try to leave as as early as I can to see the family, but it never works out.
Yeah.
But they understand. So my wife works at the dealership too, so she gets it, and we try to make as much time during the week as we can to be with the family, but also weekends are important. So I may not get to do as much riding as I want to do right now, but got to spend time with the family.
Yeah. The kids like riding bikes?
They love them, man. They're not old enough quite yet, but I got one that's almost 3 years old. He's climbing on the bikes. He's all about them. The other one is almost a year old, so he's still learning all about it, but he's loving it too.
Is he there's so 2 boys?
2 boys.
Oh boy. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that sounds like they'll probably be right. I mean, your wife likes to ride as well, so it's like a whole
Yes.
family affair at this
Oh
point,
yeah,
right?
yeah. My wife loves to ride too. So anytime we want to go out, she wants her own, so that we can both go have a good time.
That's awesome. Well, I know you've only been here for going on 5 years now. Just in general around the Springs, like, is there spots, off work and everything, business aside, that like to that you would like to do for one in Colorado Springs? Because there's so much to do here if you're an outdoorsy person too. Like, is there any like local spots you like to hang out when you do have time, kind of have some personal time?
Local spots, man. Um, don't get out crazy, man. I like anime.
What?
Yeah,
Nice.
anime, comics, that kind of stuff. So like, we hit Comic-Con recently. Local spots, I don't know. We actually went to an arcade bar the other
Oh,
day.
Okay.
cool.
Supernova.
No, off of Barnes.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
I didn't know they had one over there.
control room.
Control room.
Yeah,
Yes.
I haven't been in
That
there.
is a really cool little spot to go to. You guys ever been to Illusion?
Oh, I wanted to go, but I haven't
So
been.
it
I don't think
is
so.
Super Mario theme right now.
That's
So
awesome.
that's just a fun time. Like
Yeah.
Is it
that's
like
the kind of
Meow
stuff
Wolf or
we
what?
like to do. What's that?
Is that like Meow Wolf or what? What's Illusion?
No, Illusion Bar. So it's they call it a speakeasy. So
Okay.
the Wobbly Olive is the main bar out front,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like a themed wall, like a secret door to go in back. You can reserve tables there to go in,
Okay.
and they got drinks that are themed for like Super Mario right now.
Yeah.
Different characters. They have food that's themed the same way. It's just something cool, something different that we like to do.
Is that the one, the Wobbly Olive that's by the Cinemark?
Uh,
Theater, right?
yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Over there off Powers.
Mhm.
Yep.
That one, and there's actually one downtown as
I
well.
thought so too. Yeah.
It's actually it's a different front though. A different, I think it's I want to say a sub place or something up front, and then it's the Illusion in the back. So
Okay.
and it's kind of cool because both of them are different themes for the same stuff. So like one's heroes, one's villains right now, that kind of thing.
Oh, funny. Yeah,
So,
that's cool.
Makes you want to check out both. But
That's smart. Yeah, I like that.
that's the kind of stuff we like to do whenever we can. We'll get out by ourselves. But with the kids, we said we went to Comic-Con, had a good time, go to the park, things like that. We don't get a whole lot of time to go out, just me and the wife. So
Yeah. That Comic-Con was it was down south. It was where was Comic-Con? Isn't it like by the World Arena or something?
so
like that?
we just went to the one in Denver. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Broadmoor World Arena is where the one is here in town. That's going to be August, and we're
Gotcha.
definitely
Oh, nice.
going to that one too.
I've been wanting to go to Comic Con, so I
Yeah.
might actually check that one out too.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, me too, man. I think that's awesome that you're into that, like anime and stuff. Like, were
Yeah.
you? This is not like it is anime, but it's not like. Did you like Dragon Ball Z growing up too?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
right. I love that. I love Dragon Ball Z. growing
Dragon
up,
Ball
man.
Z, One Piece. I can go on.
That's
The new
awesome.
the new One Piece series, the live action one, they did a good job
Yes,
on
I
that.
think they did a
Yeah.
really good job. It's the
They
first.
finally nailed it.
Yes, yeah, I know. That's
Live
it.
action conversions from
They-
anime is always
It's
mess
always
up.
sketchy.
yeah.
Like, you're always like, you're hoping it goes well, but
Mhm.
9 times out of 10 it doesn't. So
Well, I mean, it was Netflix. They're pumping on a lot of money of like converting animes into live action, and it's like they kept failing. And I think they had to go through all those failures to finally figure out what works. You have to have a balance of
Exactly.
staying real to the story while also kind of adding your own flavor to it. 'Cause
Definitely.
I actually liked the Cowboy Bebop.
I really
adaptation,
liked
yeah.
it too.
Yeah. It got
But-
canceled though.
but I never actually watched the original Cowboy Bebop.
okay.
So kind of fresh going into it.
Mhm.
I thought it went great.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I guess, because it wasn't, they went too far off track of the original.
They did, yeah.
They didn't like it. But hey, from someone coming in fresh, thought it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Me too. Yeah. And so, I think they're gonna after One Piece, they finally figured out the formula. So hopefully,
I hope so, man. Avatar still didn't go very well.
Yeah.
And they're still going on.
Oh, you didn't like Avatar? I liked it. Yeah.
Man,
This
I
is
loved
the
it.
Last Airbender.
Yeah, Last
Avatar, okay.
Airbender. So I watched the originals so many times,
Okay.
the whole thing, that it just bugged me how much they crammed into one episode.
Oh, I
Like,
do remember that. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got to try to get past that and watch it again and see how it is, I guess.
I can't
but-
remember the number. I don't
Yeah.
know if it was more up towards the 100 million or closer to the 10 million, but like each episode was like millions of dollars. Like,
Oh yeah, no,
it's like-
the
like
graphics
15
were
million or something
phenomenal.
like that,
On it. Yeah, they did a great job there,
Yeah.
man. It's just, yeah,
yeah, the
little things, man.
VFX. I love VFX. So it's like breaking all that stuff down. They did a really,
Yeah.
they nailed the effects. It was the movie that sucked to me.
that movie was horrible.
Yeah. It's like a decade ago.
It's
though.
kind of
Yeah, I was
funny
gonna say it's
because
been a long time, right?
I've tried to rewatch that movie just to see if something would change in me, and no,
Yeah.
still not good.
For sure. Yeah.
Is it all Japanese origin too, or are they from all over like Asian countries for
What, like anime?
Yeah,
I think it's mostly
It's
Japanese.
Japanese.
Yeah.
So like Last Airbender,
Last
That's Nickelodeon.
yeah, it's actually Nickelodeon.
it came from just Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they just like considered it anime.
Yeah.
it was more in that style that they did
Yeah.
than a lot of the other ones. So yeah, it's kind of been approached as that, but it's
That's
technically not.
crazy.
Mhm.
Because I know like Dragon Ball Z, it's not like Cartoon Network. It was in Japan originally, right? And
Right,
then it
right.
came over, and
Yep.
Mhm.
that's crazy. I always thought it was literally from Japan. That's nuts.
Yeah. It's a American anime.
Right,
You
right.
did good on one of them. Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's cool that you like to do that, man.
Yeah.
What else do you? I mean, you probably don't have too much other things that you're doing on your spare time, but like you got kids, you got work, you got anime every once in a while.
That's really about it, man. That's
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Other than that, I got kids now, so Disney's back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want to see all the Disney movies, so luckily they're doing them all live action now. So it's something a little bit different for me
Oh yeah.
than the ones we grew up with.
Totally.
But I still got to have them watch the OGs too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I don't think the live actions even for Disney have been all that good. I know I know a lot of people love the new Aladdin movie, but
I thought it was great. Yeah.
yeah, I thought that was pretty good. But like I couldn't get into like the Lion King. I just thought it was a little bit off with the Lion King. Just my personal opinion on it for sure.
They did a replica frame by frame for the Lion King, and they don't usually do that. They usually change things around, but they really tried to like stay true to like.
Yeah, and I thought
yeah.
they did a pretty good job with it. I thought it was so funny they called it live action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
it was so good. The animation was.
Oh,
it's like,
that- yeah,
it's
no,
animation was
indistinguishable.
fantastic.
It looked
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just the emotions, I guess, on like the faces, because like it's like when I don't want to get too nerdy about it, but like when Mufasa dies and Simba's like freaking out, it's just like
Yeah.
a lion. Just
Well,
like,
yeah, with
a lion doing
It's
a
a lion
normal
man,
lion
yeah.
emotions.
With
It wasn't like
animation,
all
yeah.
big eyed or anything. Yes.
Right.
with animation, they can take liberties, and that was actually a decision they chose to do on purpose. They didn't want to make it because it would turn it more cartoonish, and like, so
Right.
they had to like. I think they're redoing. They're doing something where like I don't know, but like they're doing a second one. But yeah, I was watching like the breakdowns of all that, the VFX behind it and everything. It's fascinating.
What new is there any I'm sure there has been, but like what's new as far as cutting edge technology in the world of motorcycles right now? Is there any like cars right now, there's probably like, the age of electric vehicles and smart cars, I guess, if you
Oh,
will.
yeah.
But like
Yeah.
what else with motorcycles?
I mean, there's a lot of new technologies that have come around. Indian has done a really good job with innovation. The Challenger, which is one of their latest and greatest, came out in 2020, and they've done plenty of upgrades since then. But it was the first time they incorporated lane angle technology in a bagger. So full like 800-pound bike, they took power sport crotch rocket technology, and they applied it. And I thought it was just crazy because they couldn't. Before, the bikes are just too big. They couldn't fully apply. They had to take what they learned and, tweak it to make it work. But essentially, you lean into a corner, and if you lean too far and start to slip, it'll sense it and help correct for it so you don't go down. It's crazy. Something that could never have been done before. And it's that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about with Indian. They're always like pushing the bounds and trying to do something different out the box. And that's what kind of drew us to them is we saw the path that they were going, and even with their touchscreen that they have, it's the ride command. For a lot of people, it's nothing like your cars. They haven't caught up to the auto industry. That motorcycles are typically about 10 years behind. But for motorcycles, it is top of the line. I mean, they've been classified as the best ride command on the market because they put so much different technology in there that other people just haven't caught up to. And I don't know why. Like it's all out there. Why haven't you guys, like everybody, been able to put that into bikes? But between that and actually their 4-inch touchscreen they put on the smaller bikes. So the Chief and Scout, which is, you're talking about your 500-pound bike, 600-pound bike, that style of bike has never had technology on it. Typically, it's still your analog gauge. It's your basic bike, getting people in the industry, getting them started with the product. Well, now that starter bike comes with GPS, has ride modes like a car would have. It'll Bluetooth to your helmet and your phone. You can control everything from the touchscreen and the hand controls. Stuff that was never available for. That's a lot of what's driving people to Indian as well, is they want those luxuries. We're in a world of technology.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not put that on all of your bikes? And that's what Indian's done.
Holy crap! I did not know any of that. Did you know that about that?
That sounds cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to check out one of those bikes now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to check them out, man. That's awesome.
You can get a helmet with HUD in it or heads-up display.
Not quite.
Okay.
We ain't there yet, bro.
Yeah. I was curious. Yeah. I know you didn't say it. I was just
uh,
like, I wonder if you could. Yeah.
That'd be exciting.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the day. You know it ain't too far away. Come on.
Yeah.
He's
And
watching anime on this.
I would
Exactly,
assume that the helmet would be like made by Indian too. Like if they were to do something like that, and like it would be like part of the bike almost.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm mentioning that to them. All right?
Yeah. It is good. Yeah.
But that would be some cool stuff. Now, they haven't gone that far yet. They're always coming out with something new and exciting, and that's what I love about them. There's every year, whenever they do their new releases, it's not just like a regular, oh, here's the different colors of this bike. No, there's something new with that bike, whether it's big, whether it's small. They always have something to really attract people and bring people back. Oh.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome, man. Yeah, we gotta go check it out. We gotta do a little field trip over there to
Yeah.
the Indian for sure. I have just a few more questions. I'm gonna throw it over to Andrew, and then we'll wrap this sucker up. But yeah, man, is there any, and this is kind of like whatever headaches that you've had in the past 4.5, almost 5 years, I guess going on 5 years now, of owning a business like this that's come up. I know you've been in other dealerships, you've been in other Indian dealerships as an employee that have come up now that you're a GM, in your first 4.5 years. What are those headaches?
Headaches that came up in my first few years.
Yeah.
Learning how to deal with everybody. It's something you got to just get used to. Everybody has their own personality. Everybody has their own good, their own bad. It's learning how to work with them. You can't train everybody the same. You know what I mean? Everybody has different way of approaching things, and you have to learn to adapt and overcome to be able to really make everything work well. And learning that over the years, to me, has been awesome because I can't say I did it right all the time, but whenever you learn how to do that and you figure out, okay, I can teach this guy this way, and you see him grow where previously he might have been fired from other jobs because there's one way to do it. This is how you're going to learn. If you can't, get out. You work with somebody like that and you teach them how to do it, and you see them flourish, go next level with it, that these other guys had a gold mine they were sitting on. All right, for example, I had my shipping receiving guy about a year ago. He had been with us for a year at that point, and honestly, we were contemplating getting rid of him. He just wasn't working out back there, didn't know what to do with him, and he had mentioned to my sales manager, my newer sales manager, that he wanted to sell bikes. I'm like, I can't get him to count inventory right, let alone sell a bike. And I'm like, you know what? If you think that you can train him and you can like get this to work, go for it. Let's see what happens. It's slow season. Let's see what he has. Right. Now my number one salesman.
Oh man.
We had him sitting back there this whole time trying to count things.
Doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. It's not where we needed to place him, but to have somebody on board that can also think differently and help train and get him on track. It's different styles of management that happen, and not everybody is keen to one. So to notice it and be able to work with him and see how far he's come is has been amazing.
Running a sales team, um how does that work ideally? I'm sure it's like training from the top to the bottom from you, like how to sell a bike. But like walk us through a little bit about that sales process. Someone walks in, they have somewhat understanding of like what Indian is, what makes them different. Like how's that sales process go?
I mean, sales process is a lot of it's in the greet. So there's different levels you got to get to. Greet to me, and honestly, to everyone, is the most important. Something that we concentrate that a lot of people don't is that area. You try to stay in the greet as long as possible. What that means is getting to know the customer, building rapport, just letting them know that they're not just a number to you. You know what I mean? You care about them. You want them to be on the right bike, not the bike they might have just came into or came in for. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that come in thinking, this is the one. This is what I want. I've been looking at this bike for weeks. They come in and the dude might be 6 foot and he can't ride that small bike. Sorry. He needs to be on something a little bit bigger. But when you build that relationship with a customer, that's whenever you can properly direct them to the bike that they actually need rather than the one they thought they wanted. You know what I mean? And just going from there, eh, after that, it's really just process of numbers and you know what I mean, making sure they're good with it. Because that's the other part of it. Is I get if you got to stay on that bike because you may not be able to go past that financially, it's understandable. But we're going to show you the other options. That way you are fully aware that I'm not just trying to sell you on this because you said something. You understand that this is where we think you should be at. If you can't right now, great. We can work up to that.
That's great, man. I think that's like really hard to do, especially when you're when you're learning sales at first, because you just want to say yes to everything, right? When you're first getting in sales, like especially if someone's like, I want this bike. And you're like, oh, I'm new and I don't know anything about sales. Okay, let's see if we can get you that bike. But like to actually posture up with a client or a customer and be like, all right, well, let's talk about what like you want versus like what's feasible to you.
Sure.
And like having that posture and be like, okay, like I understand what you want, but like your stature is too tall for this bike.
Mhm.
Here's some options that are probably preferred for you. And almost be like, hey, you coming to me, I'm the expert, I'm the doctor, I'm diagnosing the situation of
Mhm.
this is what you actually need. And that's kind of a tougher conversation to have if you're newer
Oh,
to
definitely.
sales, right?
Yeah, it is. And a lot of people don't make it in sales because they don't like asking for the sale at the end of it.
Right.
Some people get too wrapped up in it that they forget that, oh, I'm selling a bike. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's that fine line. You got to understand that you're still where you're working at, but at the same time, you got to build that relationship and make sure that they are on what they want. I don't want somebody coming back to me in a week pissed off that I sold them a bike that they hate.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're gonna make sure that they're comfortable, that they really like it and enjoy it, and then we're gonna make it fun for them.
It's awesome, man. Anything from you, sir?
No, this has been good. I just go with the flow. So yeah.
This has been awesome, Tito. Well, this is your camera right here, man.
Oh.
Give them all the details, website, maybe Instagram handle, maybe your phone number. No, I'm kidding. Whatever you want to give them for sure. That's your time, man.
So pikespeakindiemotorcycle.com, our website. We're here in Colorado Springs. Come check us out. September 14th is our 5th anniversary event. You guys are invited as well. We'd love to have you guys out there. We're doing it big. Our first year that we were open, we did we had like 1,500 people at our grand opening.
My gosh.
It was
How'd you do that?
insane.
That's not easy.
Well, we actually hired the same company that helped us market for that event
Okay.
for this one. We got them back. We're trying to
Nice.
make it even bigger. We did that without knowing what we were doing. Now that we do, we're planning this a lot better. We're going to make it more of a big event, more of a rally. We're going to have axe throwing. We're going to have
Cool.
bicycle games. We're going to have all kinds of fun stuff going on. We'll have drinks for charity, things like that happening. So that's our big thing that we got coming up. Sorry, we got a 12th man competition happening from now until September 14th. So 12 man competition, you got that 12th man on the bench that comes in to help support the team. That's what we want. We want to get our customers involved with helping us sell bikes. So if you refer up to 5 people that buy bikes from us, you can potentially win 5 grand. If you get up to 10 people to come in and buy bikes from us, you can win up to 10 grand. And the winner will be announced at our 5th anniversary on
Cool.
September 14th. So something big. We're trying to really promote, get everybody to have fun with us and kind of help expand the brand.
It's awesome, man. Live music DJ, or what are you guys thinking about that?
I believe we are going to have a live band.
Cool.
The Midnight Owls. So they just recently changed their name to Midnight Owls.
It's like, what?
I forget their original name, but yes, that is the group that will be performing for us. So we're excited to have them. We're gonna have a few food trucks out too, man. It's gonna be a great time. But if you guys can make it out, everybody come out, support the event.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing our charity. I believe is gonna be for veterans as well.
Cool.
So we do everything we can in the community to try to help the vets.
Where's it at?
So, oh.
Where's it at?
Oh, it's at our dealership.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
Yep. Yeah. So we'll have everything set up there. So we got plenty of acreage to do it. We just decided to throw a big party.
Well, all right. This has been the COS Business Podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
That was good, bro.
Ah.
You did great.
Never do a photo on this side.
Home? Get some rest.
Yeah.
What time do you normally go into the dealership?
Yeah.
7?
That's tired.
Did you ride a bike over here?
No, it was raining earlier.
Oh,
so
yeah. I forgot about
I,
that. It was brutal.